In this video, I'm going back to the incredible North Coast 500 in Scotland, visiting all the must-see locations, except this time, I'm bringing some friends along with me for the ride. Whatever could go wrong. Some idiot just smashed into Jordan Luce's camper van. What the? George said he felt emotional, and that's like words that I wouldn't expect to come out of his little mouth.
I'm absolutely gutted. I honestly think this could be the end of our trip.
My name's Robbie Romes, I'm a professional travel guide writer and I make YouTube videos packed with information and tips here on YouTube. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and make sure you turn notifications on. Now the old saying goes, it's not about the location, it's about the people you're with. So I thought I'd put that theory to the test by travelling around the North Coast 500 with this crazy lot.
Ryan, as a guy who's come here for the first time, describe it in 2 words.
Breathtaking.
Now the North Coast 500 is one of the best road trips in the world, hands down. I've been lucky enough to experience it multiple times, I've even wrote a book on it, but I've never experienced it with a group of friends, so I really don't know what to expect. Well, I guess we're about to find out. And before we get into it, we'll be doing the North Coast 500 anti-clockwise in camper vans, starting at Loch Ness. Jordan Luce are just getting their camper van, which they're hiring from this place not too far from Glasgow, and we're going to get it on the road and head in for Inverness, but we are going to stop off at Loch Ness because obviously a few of the guys never seen it before, so it's probably 20-30 minutes outside of Inverness. We're going to go there, get to Inverness, get some supplies and then move on to the campsite for the night. But yeah, long day, always is when you drive up to Scotland. So after what feels like a very long day of driving, we are just on the shores of Loch Ness. Obviously this is the first time that these guys have been anywhere up here, so Loch Ness was definitely on the itinerary. And we've come and it's just like the most picturesque sunset going down over the mountains in the background. It's just incredible. And after a long day driving, I think we've been on the road for getting on for 7-8 hours now, and it's just exactly what we needed. Good start. We'll get to the campsite and then tomorrow we start the proper North Coast 500 journey, but pretty spectacular. Staying at Fortrose Bay campsite on the Black Isle, and in the morning we're going to hopefully try and spot some of the dolphins at the Chanonry point. The Black Isle is one of them places on the North Coast 500 that a lot of people tend to miss. It's sort of just northeast of Inverness, literally 20 minutes away. A lot of people bypass it and head straight up the east coast, but if you've got 7 days or maybe more, I'll definitely recommend coming here. So I've come up with a bit of a plan just for a bit of entertainment on a night time. So I've got a little trophy, I'm going to call it Star of the Day. So whoever's been the funniest, stupidest and had basically the best time will win this. But I'm going to start it off, I'm going to give it to someone, and then that person tomorrow will give it to someone else, and we'll carry on for the rest of the week. So yeah, let's find out who's today's Star of the Day is. They don't know about this, I'm going to go and tell them. So, I've got a Star of the Day award. Now, how this is going to work is that I'll kick it off, I'll present it to someone today, and it's the person who I think has like got on with it, had a good day, been a laugh, and just contributed the most to the group. And that person tomorrow will pick a new person and pass it on, and we'll do it every night. So, it's been a tough choice, I've been thinking about this one. But I'm going to give it to Jord.
Hey!
Jord, speech.
I'm
going to give it to Jord because I think he's had to tackle some adversity today with that big, massive camper van that he's been driving. And he hasn't moaned about it, and he's just got on with it. And I know he hasn't had to drive all the way up to Glasgow like me and you, right? But I think, yeah, fair play, Jord. So, thank you. There you go, mate. And then you pass it on.
Oh, well done.
Thank you, everyone.
Right, good morning, it's our first full day. Ryan, Laura and everybody are just getting their walking boots on, and we're at Fortrose Bay. We're going to have a walk round to Chanonry Point, which is the famous place that you can see the dolphins, and if we've got our timings right, hopefully we'll see a few, although it's not guaranteed, so yeah.
There you go. See? And again.
So we've just got showered up and just getting ourselves ready. Taking a little bit longer this morning, but it's like the first time that these guys have stayed in a camper van overnight, so you know what it's like having to rejig things, especially in a smaller one where you've got to move the bed back and stuff. But yeah, nice walk up to Chanonry Point this morning. Saw quite a few dolphins. We're going to make our way up the east coast. We're going to stop at Dornoch, a couple of other places, Wailing Steps, and then head on to Wick, Castle Sinclair, and then Groats. It's going to be a long day, but looking forward to it. And it just feels pretty good to be back up here in the sunshine. Bizarre, but yeah, just on Fortrose Bay right now, and all is good. Right, so we've got Pete and Louise, who are actually next door to us, and this is my, I mean, what would you describe that? I normally describe it as a spider who's jumped in a pot of ink and ran across
You can
the page.
read it, to be fair.
There you go.
It, yeah.
But yeah, we've got Pete here modelling the North Coast 500 book, and there we go. Thank you very much, Pete.
Cheers, guys.
Say it, do you want to say hello to anyone at home?
Not really, but I'll just say, well, hello to my wife who's next door. She hasn't come round, but yeah.
Good stuff.
Hello, Louise.
Enjoy
Hello,
the trip.
Louise, yeah.
It's the best hot chocolate I've had this week.
After our hot chocolate debacle, we're going to try and burn off a few calories. When I say a few, I mean about 3,000 that we've just consumed. But no, Dornoch's a nice place. We didn't see too much of it. If you're on a longer trip on the North Coast 500, there are a few places such as the History Links Museum, the castle, the beach. So it's got a good campsite there as well. Definitely worth spending a day or two there if you've got the time. So instead of going to the fair, we're going Falls on the Black Isle, which we skipped earlier. We've come up to the Golspie Big Burn, which is a place we found last year, and yeah, real nice place. Nice big bridge, and then there's a couple of waterfalls across this sort of river valley. So yeah, very nice. Get your head under, right? How'd you feel?
Beautiful.
Don't sniff it! You're alright, mate, yeah.
Are you okay?
Well, that's why I don't do stuff like that. Say, peer pressure. Something I don't normally have when I come with just me and Jazz or on my own. But yeah, Ryan dunked his head in. I thought, yeah, I'll do the same. And obviously you've just seen what happened. And yeah, that was a bit painful. But here we are. Incredible location, all completely worth it. So we've come to Wailing Steps, managed to get onto the car park, and we've had a bit of a talk off Davies, the guy who lives here, and he's given us some interesting facts about the steps with a pretty cool photo. So yeah, here we are back again. If you watched our last trip from November, you'll remember how windy it was here. Different story today. You can actually see all the way down the bottom, and the sea looks gorgeous and blue. Bit rough, but yeah, it's a pretty cool spot this. There's 341 steps, so let's go and check it out. we've just made a quick pit stop at Wick. Yeah, it's been mad today. First day properly on this trip, and we've seen like a few people that have actually had my book on them. And I'm not saying this as part of an ego trip, but it's just mad that people are actually doing the trip and enjoying it and making the most of the book. So yeah, it's just crazy. So if you bought one of my books and you're doing the trip at the same time, or you're doing the trip in the future, thank you, because I do appreciate it. And I know it sounds a bit sad, but yeah, it's good to see, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. And talking of the book, we're going to do one more stop today, which is just up the road from here, Castle Sinclair. It's picturesque, it's on the cliff edge. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Ryan, as a guy who's come here for the first time, describe it in 2 words.
Breathtaking.
That's it, 2 words, that's all.
Yeah, it's 2 words. Yeah.
Very good.
Right, talk us through the snack of the day then.
It's iron brew, pretty much.
Iron brew pips.
Iron brew pips, and we've tried an iron brew shandy. Iron brew pips. And I'll show you.
I think you're onto something there.
I thought it's either going to taste
What
like
the?
shit. What's in the pouch? Is you winning in that?
My style of the day
Do we need a drum roll?
goes to the superstar Robbie Rome's, because I thought it was ace, so someone wanted your autograph. There you go.
That's for that was for your great fall earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, I suppose that was a sympathy vote, George. Well, I appreciate it. So we are on day 2 of our North Coast 500 road trip in April with the gang. But yeah, we're at John O'Groats, and it's bloody lovely. Couple of minutes, we're just going to get packed up, get down to the John O'Groats signpost, have our photo done, and then move on to Durness Head. So yeah, this part of the trip's pretty cool because you start moving right from the east coast and start heading west, where the mountains and scenery just become epic. And I'm excited for the guys to experience that, so it's gonna be a good day. Top of the UK, the most northerly point in the UK. I've been here a couple of times, but it still amazes me. We're just pulling off.
You got it. You're coming. I'll tell you when, though.
Do you mind? I'm trying to record a video here. So now we are going to get back on the road, and we're heading sort of westerly now towards Fortrose Bay, which is mine and Jazz's favourite beach on the whole of the route. And I'm excited to see the reaction of these guys' faces when we get over that brow on the hill. Look at that, guys. background, that's Strathie Bay. And like I've not long said, definitely my favourite beach along the North Coast 500. There are millions of beaches, not quite millions, but there are a lot of beaches that are just incredible. Always got these white sands, blue waters, it's just amazing. But this one in particular, I don't know, there's just something special about it. I think it's because when you come over the brow of the hill you can't see anything, and then the second you get over the brow you're just presented with this incredible view. And yeah, it's just amazing, especially on a day like today. We've been so lucky with the weather, and the guys that we're with, like, their jaws just dropped as soon as they hit that brow of the hill. So yeah, what a place. It's kind of hard to put into words at times. Like, some of these landscapes, they're just so amazing. And you know, we've been up here multiple times now, and you'd think at some point it'd get boring, or I'd get sick of seeing the same places, but just impossible to, really. So we're just on the way to Durness, home of Smoo Cave and the incredible Sangho Sands beach. Hoping to get there before 3 o'clock because the toasty van, which is called Cheese and Toasted, shuts at 3. But we're currently running like 20 minutes late, so I've messaged them on Instagram to see if they'll stay open. And at the minute it looks like they're going to stay open for us, so hopefully we can get there in good time. Maybe 20 minutes late, but yeah, we're all going to have a toasty anyway, and I've been telling everyone how good these toasties are, so shout out to the guys at Cheese and Toasted for staying open, hopefully, and hopefully they're as good as I remember they are. Yes.
It's your 3 weeks, or?
Ooh.
And are you paying by card? Yes, please.
Not heaven. In between bread. So we finally made it to the campsite. We're staying at Sangho Sands Oasis. Stayed here a couple of times before. There aren't many campsites in the UK, I would probably say, with a better location than this, and even better this time. This is our pitch right now. I'm just going to show you. So there's the van.
Bosh.
And then Bosch. Look at that. We got a front row seat. Oh, it's beautiful. It's yeah. So if anyone's bought my book, the front cover, I took on the drone of Jazz and Arch just on a rock down there, down this way somewhere. But yeah, beautiful. The sea is just so greeny, turquoise blue. The bits of rock and outcropping rocks and stuff, yeah, it make for a really good photo. So if you're into Instagram or anything like that, definitely come down here. Just over this side, somewhere here, is the viewpoint, which also makes for a nice photo. But yeah, we're here early tonight, so I'm excited about that. We'll just chill out, get a few bits done, and then get the camping chairs out and have a few tinnies. I mean, there's not really many better places you can enjoy a cold beer after a long day of travelling. So yeah, oh, Sangho Sands, what a place. Third star of the day award, and it's been a tough decision. I'm giving it to Ryan.
Hey!
Lucy, maybe tomorrow. That's up to Ryan.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Well,
I'd like to dedicate this to
Got it. What was her name? Marjorie from
Marge from the Toasties, because they're unreal. And
Boston.
I think without her we wouldn't have been where we are today.
Oh, that's very true.
Marge.
Good morning, it's day 3 on our North Coast 500 trip. Dogs are excited. We're on Bealach Beach, which is 1 mile from Sango Sands. And we've got the place to ourselves. Always a pleasure, that is. Yeah, I mean, beautiful, beautiful, long beach. Like most of the beaches up in Scotland, especially in the Highlands. Beautiful blue seas. The plan is we're going to get these dogs some energy burnt off before we make our drive around to Kylesku Bridge and that sort of area. But yeah, lovely way to start the day. What you got, mate?
You have to be careful with these.
Lilo! What you spotted, Roy? Have you not spotted the bridge yet?
Can't find it.
We're back at the Kylesku Bridge. In the first video, maybe the last video, I was calling it Kylesku Bridge. And I've been hounded by a number of locals that that's not the correct way to say it. So apologies to all them people. But yeah, one of the iconic landmarks on the North Coast 500. And if you go where that gentleman is going, if you go up and over, you can get a view down onto the bridge. See a couple of people up on the rocks. Just be careful when you cross the road, obviously. And be careful where you're standing, it's a bit uneven and stuff like that. But yeah, you can almost get a drone-like photo from up there, even if you haven't got a drone. And just around the corner from here is the Wailing Widow waterfall. We're going to be heading there shortly. Probably stop for some lunch, have a cup of tea. Yeah, the sun's just come out. Happy days. Me with this on, like part of a film crew or door staff or something, I don't know. We're coming up to the Wailing Widow waterfall, which is on Google Maps called the Loch waterfall. There isn't really many places to park, and at the minute there's people sort of parked either side of the road, which is not ideal. But this is the best way to come up to it. There's a little gorge that just sort of leads up towards the waterfall. It's a bit rocky, it's a bit scrambly, so just watch your ankles. But one of the best places on the North Coast 500 in my opinion, and I can't wait to see their face, especially that guy's. Wailing Widow. Apparently the story goes there was a wife of a farmer or someone who lived here, and the husband died, and she was so distraught and depressed that she came to the edge of the pool and chucked herself off and died, and that was the Wailing Widow. So apparently, yeah, that's the story. I could be wrong, so if there's any local people out there who know it's slightly different, just tell me. But yeah, these guys are asking, so bit of background. There we go, Wailing Widow. Yeah. Alright, buddy. Jem's having a pee just as I'm recording. Good dog. Yeah. Drumbeg viewpoint, absolutely beautiful. We're going to carry on going past Clashnessy Falls.
Oh, is it? Cool, darling.
Drumbeg viewpoint. Olive. Yeah. So we've made our way around the Drumbeg Loop and we're now at Clactol Beach campsite, which is where we're staying for the night.
We've come here a little bit earlier than we planned. A couple of the group needed to come back to use the toilet facilities, let's put it that way. We've decided not to go to Kylesku Falls. We're going to do that first thing in the morning. The campsite here is pretty good, to be honest. They've got a load of facilities, like they've got kitchen facilities, which is pretty unheard of on the North Coast 500. They've also got stuff like sea kayaks, wetsuits you can use completely free of charge. The women's toilets even has GHD hair straighteners, so I've recommended them in my book, and that's the reason why. Really good campsite. I'm just going to go down the beach with Arch just for a little walk round, then we're just going to chill out. We're going to jump into the beast of a camper van, play a couple of board games with a couple of tinnies, and then that'll be us for the day. Star of the day, previously won by Ryan, goes to...
I'm going to give my star of the day today to this person because, you know, I made a mistake and I made an assumption and I shouldn't have. I didn't realise how good they were, so my award today goes to MC Jazzy B. For driving today down She made it all the way, and I genuinely thought Rob was driving until he said, "Oh, Jazzy's driving that."
I've been so grumpy all day. I've been the grumpiest that you've done that to cheer me up, haven't you?
Well, does it cheer you up?
Yeah, it has.
And today we're on day 4 of this incredible North Coast 500 trip. Jazz won Star of the Day yesterday, which was a nice little treat. And here is the award to prove it. So yeah, she's chuffed about that. Who's it going to be today? There's only Lucy and Laura that haven't had it yet. Interesting. Anyway, we're going to leave Clactow Beach campsite shortly. We're just going to nip back round to Kylesku Falls. The guys want to have a little walk up there. Yeah, let's get on the road. Typical, the second that we got back from the Kylesku waterfall walk, it stopped raining. But yeah, I couldn't record too much there. It was absolutely pissing it down. We pretty much got soaked head to toe. But no, it's another beautiful waterfall. One thing I will say, it's very boggy. So make sure you've got walking boots or wellies. Take your time. Literally 10 minutes around the corner from Clactow Beach where we were this morning. We've come to Applecross Bay. Take a walk down now with the guys and I'll show you what it's all about. We got a man down. After our wet and windy morning, we're in the beautiful Loch, and yeah, we're coming here for the Loch larder, the famous pie shop.
Great.
Chicken curry?
Yeah.
Order 62.
Yep.
Perfect.
Here we go, grand reveal. Oh, the pie's good. So once again, the Loch larder delivers the goods, but for now we're going to get back on the road and we are heading towards Ullapool. Just
here at Ardwick Castle, one of the landmarks of the NC500, and it sits on the shores of Loch. You've got huge mountains in the background and it just looks epic. Real majestic place, plenty of history. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I think originally it dated back to the 1600s and the Clan MacLeod maybe. But yeah, if you are coming this way, which I'm sure you will be if you do the North Coast 500, Ardwick Castle 100% must do. The good thing about this stop is there's not much walking involved. It won't take too much of your time, and there's plenty of little lay-bys and parking spots just along the road. I've just left the guys at the castle getting some photos and stuff. Just going to head back to the Van with Arch. Just arrived at Ullapool, and the plan is we're going to take a little walk around, jump in the pool for a couple of pints, and then we'll probably get a takeaway and take it back to the campsite. But yeah, Ullapool, great little place. It's probably one of the most busy parts of the Highland, especially in this west side. There isn't much civilization outside of here. There's a couple of pubs that do live music, some really good fish restaurants, seafood restaurants, so if that's your thing, definitely stop here for a night. Some pretty good B&Bs. There's two campsites, there's Broomfield and then there's Ardmere just around the corner where we're staying. Happy day 4.
Cheers.
Here's to many more, whatever this is. So right beside me we have a big box and a bag for our Chinese takeaway. We've gone with the Lucky House Chinese in Ullapool, so we will tell you very shortly if it's any good. But yeah, we're just at the campsite now, and it's beautiful on the seafront here. Another good day, and we're going to top it off with a Chinese. So somebody order a Chinese.
More on.
Oh, I was going to do my...
That's a view. Great feet.
Yeah.
Daddy's...
Look at the state of this. Yeah. Sorry. Look at him.
Right, they're not bad.
Right, you got star of the day.
I'm going to give it to Lucy. Sorry, Laura.
I already knew it was going to be
You were
Lucy.
so close.
Hey! Round of applause, everyone.
Lucy. Come on.
Come on! Round of applause.
Lucy on the new world record for most poos in a day.
What are the reasons?
I think you've been very, very helpful to everybody and very, very kind and funny. And I just love you. And I love you too, Laura. It was so...
And it's a good morning from Ardmere campsite. It's just funny, you know, I was just walking to the toilet block and I saw the little telephone mast on the hill over there, and it reminded me of when me and Jazz Lost stopped here. And there was the people on top of the hill having what seemed like a pretty good party, so I flew the drone up. If you've watched the video, you've seen it, but there's a couple of them basically bent over and got their asses out as I flew the drone over, which was pretty funny.
Always remember their arse when we're here.
Always remember their arse when we come to this place. And we're going to just nip into Ullapool, get some breakfast, and then we're getting on the road. But yeah, really looking forward to it. This park gets really wild. So we stopped in Ullapool for breakfast at the Boffy Caff, which was, I'd say it was dead good, top notch. How would you rate your brekkie, guys?
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
Chocolate was recommended.
So the Boffy Ullapool, highly recommended. I think I'm going to add it into my book. Definitely worth a stop. And so we've got full bellies. We're going to try and walk it off a bit. We've come to Corrishalak Gorge, which is a really iconic place. Yeah, massive suspension bridge over the gorge with a river, a waterfall. So we are just making our way down the path now. before we get into the dramatic part of the video where things start to go wrong, I'm quickly going to show you the sponsor for this video, which is my No Fuss North Coast 500 guidebook. North Coast 500, the road trip of a lifetime, is a #1 bestseller on Amazon. It's packed with incredible locations, practical tips and stress-saving hacks to ensure your North Coast 500 experience is simply unforgettable. It was amazing to bump into so many people using the guidebook and genuinely having a great time. The book is available on Amazon, or for £1 cheaper you can grab it from my website, which is robbieroams.com. Now let's get back into the video where things really start to get interesting. After visiting Victoria Falls, we made the epic drive towards Torridon on the A896, which is probably my favourite drive on the whole of the North Coast 500. We couldn't have timed it any better, with the sun deciding to come out and help show off the immense panoramic views. We then stopped to visit Callum, the famous 20-year-old red deer stag, who actually hadn't been seen for 3 days prior. Luckily he made an appearance for us and seemed to take a liking to our friend Jord. We then chatted to a local man who's been looking out for Callum over the last 5 years or so. He actually thought Callum may have kicked the bucket, so he was pretty chuffed to see him as well. Oh yeah, our van then broke down after hitting a pothole, so it turns out there's a fuel cut-off system on Fiat Ducatos. After some engineering wizardry from Ryan, with the help of Jord, not forgetting the girls who helped keep the morale up, we managed to restart the van and away we went to the Torridon Hotel to see the iconic Highland cows, one of which was actually born that very morning. And finally we took on the mighty Bealach bar before heading to Applecross for an incredible dinner and sunset. Now unfortunately, like a complete idiot, I lost most of the camera footage from this afternoon other than the odd clip or photo you've already seen. But to be honest, the memories I have of that day are so vivid, easily one of the best days I've ever had on a road trip. Anyway, let's pick things back up with star of the day. Hands in the air if you thought today was the best day so far. Right, Luce, you're up.
Now I feel a lot of pressure today with this star. And like it should go to Laura, but unfortunately it's not. She almost had it last night. She almost had it, but I feel like because Ryan saved the van, he's got this. And also, all my family prefer him to me, and all my friends prefer him to me. Now we get star of the day twice. Right, get your hand up the head.
So everybody, star of the day, Ryan! Woo! So this morning we're on day 6 of this North Coast 500 adventure. We're pretty much ending the North Coast 500 route today as we're heading over to Skye. We're going to go back over the Blacknbar Pass. The weather is absolutely stunning and apparently it's here to stay for the rest of our trip. So that's a good way to end. And yeah, we're going to go to Eiley and Donan Castle, which is the really famous iconic one on the big Loch. And then we're going to head over to Skye, cross the Skye Road Bridge, see a few places, and we're camping there tonight. Seeing a few more places tomorrow, and then we're heading back towards Fort William and Glencoe. But yeah, after yesterday, which was just an epic day, like everybody seemed to really enjoy it. I said yesterday in a little video that I was recording, George said he felt emotional, and that's like words that I wouldn't expect to come out of his little mouth. So. We've just got an epic group photo with the amazing view of Skye in the background, and because we were putting it on the south time, I had 10 seconds to run to everyone else. And of course, sliders, wet grass. I've now got a wet arse, as you'll see in the photo. Another fall. Ryan said I should just crawl for the rest of the trip, which is probably accurate. Anyway, we're going to get the drone up now, complete the Blacknbar, but oh, what a start to the day.
We've just stopped at the Island Donan Castle, which is on the way to Skye, well, ish. Stopped here for a bit of a coffee break and a croissant. But it's looking beautiful on daylight today, very busy. It's obviously Good Friday now, which is Easter weekend in the UK. There's a lot of tourists here. It's strange, you know, because we've been going around the route and it's been fairly busy around the North Coast 500, but not mobbed like here. So yeah, strange, definitely feels like we're a tourist attraction. We're just going to stop, have a coffee, get some pictures. To be honest, the best pictures are for free, just by the car park. And then we're going to carry on to Skye. So the crazy gang have arrived in Skye and we're just walking up the Old Man of Store. And if you want to come and do the hike up from the hike, say it takes probably, depending on how fit you are, between 30 and 45 minutes up, maybe another 20-30 minutes down. But yeah, a bit of a lung buster. A little walk, and the best remedy is a lock in Velarde pie.
Leave her alone.
Look at that. Heat it up in the oven, just can't do any better.
Come on. I can't really see a lot.
Who's that?
So we've made the absolute mission round to Ness Point Lighthouse. One of my favourite places on Skye. From the car park, I'll quickly show you. If you go up, over to the right, you'll be able to see the lighthouse. So yeah, we're going to have a walk up there now, have a beer and enjoy the sunset. What a day that's been. We've just watched the sunset over the Ness Point Lighthouse. Had a couple of beers. It was a bit cold, but oh, just such a great view. And yeah, just enjoying that moment with this group of absolute nut jobs. It's just been amazing, this trip has. We've only got like a day or so to go, but yeah, there's no way this trip could probably get any better than it has done. So glad we came and did it. And yeah, definitely going to be one of the highlights of the trip. Isle of Skye is amazing. It's just interesting that we've come and done the North Coast 500, then come to Skye, and like the difference is chalk and cheese. And I say that in terms of the number of people that are on Skye. It's just overwhelming. I know it's the Easter bank holiday now, but there's people from all over the world, a load of American, Chinese, Italian, Spanish, people from all over coming to Skye. So yeah, everywhere, especially throughout the summer months here, is going to be really busy. Hotels are going to be busy and expensive, and a lot of these spots, I mean, there must have been 200 people here tonight trying to take photos and enjoy the sunset, and you can't blame them. Yes, all good. Oh, so it's our last full day doing the trip, and we've woken up, well, we barely slept, to be honest. The wind at Ness Point Lighthouse has been nothing short of ridiculous. The band has been rocking all night because of the wind and nothing else. No, it's been pretty scary. I know the others were a bit concerned. We're kind of on a slope ever so slightly, and it feels like at any point the van can just roll forward, and if that happened we would be pretty stuffed, because maybe 30-40 metres in front is a sheer drop of a cliff. We're just about to have our morning cuppa and then round up the gang, and today we're heading to Dunvegan Castle, to Kylesku Distillery, the Fairy Glen Pools, and then eventually Fort William. So in a very bizarre turn of events, Ryan and Jordan have just gone to buy a £600 bottle of Kylesku, 27-year aged whiskey. Lots of different aged whiskies available at Kylesku. One we tried, I think it was £6 a dram. Yeah, very peaty. I don't really know how else I'll describe it because I'm not really a whiskey drinker. But yeah, if anyone's into whiskies that watch my YouTube channel, let me know if they made a good decision by buying this 27-year-old Kylesku. Here come the lads. £600 lighter. How does it feel?
We're going to be millionaires in 25 years' time.
This time next year, Rodney. We're a millionaire.
Right, good luck, boys. We'll be trying that in the campsite later, won't we?
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
So we've just arrived at the Ferry Glen Falls car park, and it's so tight, especially if you're in a motorhome. But yeah, Ferry Glen Falls, absolutely stunning place. You've got the Glen Brittle Mountains behind, vast epic scenery, and the water is the clearest turquoise blue you'll probably ever see anywhere. So yeah, real sweet spot, and I'm looking forward to these guys checking this place out. So let's go and have a look. Oh, today has been long. We are now in Fort William at the campsite, Glen Nevis campsite. Just up there is Ben Nevis, UK's highest mountain, which me and the lads climbed last year, and yeah, it's a tough one. Anyway, this is our last proper night. We came from Skye, went to the Ferry Glen Falls. You would have saw Ryan and Laura jumping in, and then that random crazy Polish guy. Yeah, I don't know what he was about, but fair play to him. And then we've had quite a long drive. It was about 2 hours 30 all the way to Fort William, where we're staying tonight, and then we're going to start heading south tomorrow. Today's star of the day.
Bertie's going to go to Laura because she went in that water and I never thought she would.
Yay! The last ever star of the day goes to Laura. What'd you have to say, Laura?
Finally.
Finally it's happening.
Yeah. So yeah, Laura won Star of the Day award for the first time, and we messed it up yesterday. We didn't give it out, we were all too knackered and too much going on. So Laura won the last ever one, and there we go. Yeah, we're going to get packed up. Dog's been watered and fed, and we're going to have an early night because we're shattered, and the wind last night did not help. I don't think any of us in the group got more than 4 hours sleep, something like that. So yeah, early night is definitely needed and earned. But yeah, it's been a mad trip. Oh, so it's our last day. We're making our way back down towards Glasgow. Jordan and Lucy got to drop their camper van off. Typically on the last day, other than a couple of little bits, we've been absolutely fine with the campers and stuff. And just coming through the viewpoint at Glencoe, some idiot pretty much driving on the wrong side of the road has just smashed into Jordan and Lucy's camper van. Took the mirror clean out, smashed to bits. It's going to need a complete new wing mirror. It's typical because we're only 2 hours from dropping it off, which is just sides of Law. Anyway, we've stopped at Etivmore, which is an absolutely incredible spot, just past Glencoe. One of the most picture perfect mountains anywhere in the UK. The name's Barn. So we're about 12 hours later and we got home yesterday. A bit of a long drive. We had planned to stop at a few more sites along the way, but I think in the end we were all just absolutely knackered from the trip. So yeah, got home and I'm just kind of sat here about to tidy the van up before we get it back to the van hire place, and just thought I'd have a quick reflection on the trip. It has been absolutely epic, and you know, I think
probably the title of this video is going to be something like, can the North Coast 500 get any better? And I think the answer is yeah, it can. I mean, if this is your first time watching any of my videos, or if this is the first time you're planning to go on the North Coast 500, you'd have seen some of these amazing locations, many of which you can find in my book. But it's just a completely unique experience doing it with a big group of people, especially a group of people that you get on really well with and you can always have a good laugh. A lot of people will say, you know, it's not about the destination, it's about the people you're with. And that's true, that's 100% true. But when you pair that with some of these incredible places in the North Coast 500, it just makes for an epic trip. And I feel really lucky and privileged that we managed to do it with the guys. There was some hiccups along the way, don't get me wrong, it wasn't all plain sailing, but that's part of the road trip adventure, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little bit gutted we lost some of the footage as we passed through Torridon and this van actually broke down. And yeah, you just stranded at the side of the road and we didn't really know what was going on. So about 10 minutes later we managed to figure it out. Restart the car and everyone was absolutely buzzing. It was just such a funny moment, but we lost the recording for that, so I'm a bit gutted about that. But yeah, at the time I was recording a video around the back of the van. I was saying, you know, so our van has just broke down. I honestly think this could be the end of our trip and it would be such a rubbish way to end it. So I'm absolutely gutted. We managed to get it sorted and then we carried on with the journey. And yeah, it was just epic from start to end. So many funny moments. So yeah, I genuinely do believe this trip around the North Coast 500 was the best one I've ever done, and I'm chuffed about it. But yeah, a massive shout out to everybody that we bumped into along the way. And if anyone sees me along the way in any future road trips that I do, just stop and say hello. I'm a little bit socially awkward, but I will say hello and have a chat, not a problem. And I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I think that brings this North Coast 500 trip to an end. Just like to thank you all for watching again. If you're a subscriber already, thank you so much. If you're new here, consider subscribing below. Make sure you turn on notifications so you get notified about all of my future videos. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Robbie Roams, and I will catch you guys in the next one.